Hi guys. I just thought I would kind of talk a little bit. Had some questions brought up to me a little while ago about how I feel about Jesus, and I thought I would talk just to kind of give Christians a bit of an idea of how some of us Wiccans take a look at the figure of Jesus. Years ago, when working with some evangelicals that were co-workers in dialysis, I had to explain some definitions for them because they did not understand the words deity and pantheon. Deity, of course, I went and I said, that's what a god is a deity. It's kind of an interchangeable word. And anyway, sorry, I just got a text. And pantheon, of course, the gods of a particular country or a group of people. This is according to Merriam-Webster. A group of people who are famous or important, or a temple that's built to honor all the gods in a particular country or for a group of people. So there's different pantheons that a lot of pagans are quite aware. There's Egyptian pantheon, there's Roman, there's Greek, there's Hebrew, there is Christian pantheon, which is a derivative. To me, the Christian pantheon is a derivative of Roman pantheon. It's Roman pantheon came from Greek pantheon, and Christian has come from Roman, but severely modified. So I just thought I would put that one out there just to try and help get some sort of understanding as to what terms we use when if you're talking with one of us Wiccans, to understand where we're coming from on these terminologies here. As far as the figure of Jesus, I'm one of those that thinks that there was a historical basis to the figure. Just as with the Roman gods, or not the Roman, the Egyptian gods, the pharaohs became gods after they were, interred, and that was an ascension. So like Ra and several others that had at one point been human. And I think, we've had legends of like Sir Robin of Locksley, we've had King Arthur. There were figures behind these myths, and they expanded into being myths, and I think that is what happened in that case as well. Who he was, we don't know. Any surviving documents, of course, and any documents that have been brought into the modern day about him, the King James Bible and several others, we know how heavily politically edited those have been, and like with the Bible itself, how many books are considered not canon, and where did the canon books come from, and why were they chosen versus these, and everything else. To get more into it, I recommend watching lectures by Bart D, Erhman, and I have a few of his books as well, just to kind of understand the historical aspect of it. And Autopsy, I think 77 is his last part of his YouTube handle. I'm going to link to his 2 videos below where he kind of gets into that discussion of the historicity of it. He is atheist, but he had some really good points. There were a couple of excellent videos. So something to look at, a little bit of food for thought. Regarding the deity itself, my answer, of course, was that, well, that's not part of a pantheon I follow. Although, because I am an eclectic Wiccan, I tend to grab, at times, if I feel the need to talk to a particular deity, I will. um, or to work with them, or however the case may be. It depends on what it is I'm doing, what it is I need, stuff like that. I never was uncomfortable with the figure of Jesus. I was uncomfortable with Christians, and I was uncomfortable with Jesus's father. Now, there's several people out there that brought up the point that they think that the God that's in the Old Testament is different than the one that's in the New Testament, and Jesus isn't talking about the one like in Leviticus and all of that stuff. And if you consider that the Hebrews do not consider that Jesus fulfilled any sort of biblical prophecy, that would actually make sense. And to me, he is a reworking of the Roman beliefs at the time, because he did come from Rome. You know, as far as the mythology behind him came from Greco-Roman. So, you know, I really don't see Jesus as a Hebrew God at that point. Some parts of the tale, yeah. I myself find it uncomfortable that, you know, there's such a following over a deity that had to be butchered and sacrificed to protect humanity from his own father. And but that's, you know, that's just my views on the whole mythology behind that. In some ways, Christianity's a less complicated mythology than some of the other ones out there, but to me, that is the core of it right there. And it's very disconcerting. Yeah, the figure of Jesus itself, and you're going to find with a lot of Wiccans that are eclectic, which means, eclectic, by the way, means we don't have a specific tradition that we follow. You will find Gardnerian, you will find, I can't even remember the other ones because it's been so long since I've been away from it. There's ones that are set traditions, and they will say, well, I've been initiated third degree into Hellenistic, or I've been initiated this into Druid and stuff like that. And Druid is not Wiccan, by the way, but you're going to find very specific traditions within many of the pagan faiths, and especially if they are labeled as Wicca. But there's also the branch of eclectic, which many of us practice as solitary, which means we do not have covens. We may go participate in things and participate in group rituals with covens and things like that, but that's not our personal practice at home. We have a personal practice we do ourselves, and many of us kind of, over the years, this practice kind of evolves and we design it around ourselves, and that's how we worship. I mean, it's the same thing as a Christian who does not go to church but has, you know, their Bible at home and, you know, does their prayer and everything else and doesn't go listen to a preacher. That's kind of the same thing as what an eclectic Wiccan will do. And you'll find in Wiccan circles that there are many who still absolutely hate the idea of an eclectic Wiccan. And the problem is, there is, just like in any other religion out there, there's going to be fundamentalists. Ones that are just very dogmatic about how that religious practice is supposed to be, and when are you allowed to use the terms. So there's some that believe that you can only do it if you're, you can only use the word Wiccan if you're following Northern European, like the Celtic or the old Germanic practices and beliefs, and you can't have anything else. So that pretty much is in a nutshell. I thought that I probably should do another one of these videos on defining what we are for Christians. just kind of, you know, keep the topic open, get a little bit more understanding out there, you know, just to see where the religious differences are. And I think that kind of helps everybody out to achieve some sort of understanding. And, you know, hopefully you take this, you know, in a good way. And, you know, may the doors be open for more discourse, more honest discourse, more honorable discourse. And just a lot less snapping at each other overall. So that's it. Blessed be everybody. I hope you have a fantastic night, and thank you for watching.